A new Critical Role video may shed some light on why they picked D&D over Daggerheart. The new Mass Effect series is finally happening, and some big changes are coming to Final Fantasy Tactics: Ivalice Chronicles.
This day grows lovelier by the hour.
Welcome to a Thursday edition of Fantasy News, your look at all the week's biggest stories. But before we talk Final Fantasy Tactics and D&D to Daggerheart conversions, why not take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons? Even just taking a second to hit the like button really helps us, and we'd really appreciate it. And now, let's dive into the news. Matt Mercer joined up with Ashley Johnson to show us just how easy it is to convert a player from D&D over to Daggerheart, as they took Fern Calloway from her D&D roots and made her the full-fledged Daggerheart character we will all get to see when the Indianapolis live show airs tomorrow. Now, granted, Ashley had Matthew Mercer helping her out by answering her questions in real time, but it really showed off just how smooth the leveling process was and the conversion process was, as the entire thing took roughly 12 minutes, and very clearly explained how leveling up and tiers work in the Daggerheart system. It also showed how easy multiclassing in Daggerheart is, as Fern decided to follow her D&D character's roots and multiclass into Rogue. But despite how quick and easy the entire process is, we did see a few of the limitations, and perhaps one of the reasons why Campaign 4 wound up using D&D instead. While Ashley was very happy with the Fern she wound up creating for Daggerheart, it had some major differences from the Fern we saw in Bell's Hells. Namely, she had no fire spells and no real access to fire spells, and almost no way to trigger fire damage besides her Warden of the Element subclass, which is one defensive ability. And for a game like Critical Role, you have to imagine the cast have been working on their characters for months and months and months. And it could have just simply been that after coming up with the original character ideas in D&D, way back when the plans for Campaign 4 were first set in motion, not everyone could find a way to make a clean port of that character concept into Daggerheart. Kind of like how Fern couldn't be the fire-wielding druid princess that she was in D&D, and so she had to sort of make a slight shift of her character to get it into that Daggerheart mold. Daggerheart is an incredibly new system that still has limited options, so it could just be that besides the financial reasons we mentioned in previous videos, that they also considered that they needed to give their players as many options as they could to bring their character visions to life. And with everyone having far more experience homebrewing D&D versus the brand new Daggerheart, and with D&D having so many more base options to start with, at least for now, that may have also swayed their decision a bit, as it was simply easier to create the exact characters the cast all wanted. But with so many more classes and domains already in playtest, Daggerheart is well on its way to catching up and even passing D&D when it comes to options. So expect a ton of new Daggerheart content from Critical Role in the next year, and hey, there's always Campaign 5.
We'll see you guys there.
The Fallout series did so well for Amazon Studios that it's encouraged them to go ahead and set a filming date for the long-awaited Mass Effect Prime video series. The Mass Effect series was first announced back in 2024, and now, after the Fallout series racked up tons of Emmy nominations and became a huge streaming hit for Amazon, they are finally ready to set a filming date for their next big video game turned TV show. According to Production Weekly, filming for Mass Effect is set to begin in Q4 2026, which we admit is further away than we would like, but is still a great sign that pre-production on the series will begin shortly. What remains unclear is if the show will try and retell the story of Mass Effect, as the current plot synopsis appears to come straight out of the story of Mass Effect 1, but could also just be a placeholder this early in the process. But with BioWare's Mass Effect boss Mike Gamble overseeing production, we are hopeful that no matter what kind of Mass Effect story we get, it will follow in those Fallout footsteps and deliver another amazing video game turned streaming series for us to enjoy, even if we won't be seeing it for several years.
Life is a negotiation. We all want. We all give to get what we want.
And finally, some huge news has dropped around Final Fantasy Tactics: Ivalice Chronicles, the long-awaited official remaster of the beloved Final Fantasy game. First off, we now have the full voice cast for the game, and oh yeah, if you didn't know, a lot of this game will now be fully voiced for the first time, including Ben Starr, the voice of Clive from Final Fantasy XVI, returning to the franchise as the hero's scheming older brother, along with some other huge names like Tim Watson in the world of voiceover. The other huge change that just got announced was the fixing of Cloud Strife in the game. For those Final Fantasy VII fans who played Tactics back in the day, unlocking Cloud's character was a monumental effort, as all his abilities were basically tied to a special materia sword that you had to go do a bunch of additional fights and quests and grinding after first acquiring Cloud to get. But in a move that will make Final Fantasy fans rejoice, Cloud will now start with his iconic sword, meaning you can finally use him as soon as he is recruited. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best loved RPGs of all time, and now with this incredible voice cast and huge quality of life changes like Cloud being usable without hours of additional grinding, we can't wait to get our hands on a copy when it releases this September. And that's all we have for this Thursday edition of Fantasy News. Let us know what your favorite story was down in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.